Well, Doc, the fact that when I first met you, we were in the car, and you were so willing to help me because, I was struggling with this ailment, and and I just took a chance, and I remember asking you the question, what kind of doctor are you? And I began to explain the symptoms that I had to you, and the thing about you as a doctor that I find really refreshing, as opposed to other doctors that tries to cure you before they know what's wrong with you. You listened to what I was saying to you, and then you said, "Well, you know what, John? Let's try a few things that I think that might work for you, and then we'll go from there." No one ever told me that. Basically, try this, take it for a couple of months, or take it for a couple of weeks. If it works for you, fine. If it doesn't, so be it. But that's what I really thought was really appealing about, who you are, Doc. Well, it works. That's the one thing that was different. It works. The way that you explain things to me, you put it in layman terms, and it was really clear, and it works. That's what I, get it. I get it. You explain things to me in detail and steps and what we needed to do to help me, and I understand it, and that's what works for me. So on a scale from 0 to 10, 10 being the most horrible thing, 12 is my scale. Okay. After I spoke to Dr. Sachs and I started the treatment, it was immediately after that I started experiencing relief. That's the word that I like to use for it. It's relief. When you wake up in the morning, you're like, I feel good. I feel like I had a good night's sleep. I feel like I could, go out there and tackle the world. I discussed this problem with other physicians, and I went to see a lot of other people. And what they really wanted to do is and so on and so forth. The method that I dealt with the doc was basically from a world of knowledge to him listening to exactly what my symptoms are, exactly what's wrong with me, and giving me exactly the things to do to make sure that that I can get relief from my problem. That's what is different about Dr. Sachs. He takes that 1, 2, 3 step instead of going to the 3rd step from the first day. That's what's different for me. From the 0 to 10 scale, if we go back to the 0 to 10 scale, and I was at a 12 before, I'm down to a 0 in 3 weeks. And that's a miracle for me. From a 12 to a 0, and the scale was 10. 10 being the worst. I was at 12. I'm down to a 0. That is remarkable. Well, literally the next day I started experiencing relief, and then it was no longer than 2 to 3 weeks till I started feeling wonderful. I'll give my testimony to anyone to tell them that you saved my life. And literally he did. He saved my life because the way that I was living was not living. Words can't describe the thanks and the admiration I have for Dr. Sachs and his lovely assistant, Miss Bonnie. So, it was a life-saving experience. It's his passion, it's his life. And, it's wonderful. And I'm glad I spoke to him and said to him, look, this is my problem, can you help me? And he did. And that's just the beautiful thing about, Dr. Sachs. He cares. He really does. Well, if anyone would like to speak to me about Dr. Sachs, I could talk all day about him. So if you'd like to speak to me about Dr. Sachs, you can call me at 203-515-7145. And I'd gladly tell you everything I know about Dr. Sachs.